Welcome everybody to this live D&D session. Before we begin, I'd just like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Pop Fiction Parlor. They're sponsoring this D&D session today, and they're here to help your inner or outer nerd by providing some of the coolest action figures, collectibles, Funko Pops, plushies, and tons more, including signed memorabilia. And best of all, they have all sorts of dice to get your D&D game started. Their website is popfictionparlor.com, and there's a link in the description. So do go and check out all the things that they have to offer. And if you subscribe to their newsletter, you can get 10% off your first purchase. So thanks very much for them. And thank you everyone for joining us. I'm Louise Carey. I'm a science fiction and fantasy author, and I'm the DM of today's game. And now, without further ado, let's meet our players. So shall we start with you, Rachel?
Hello, I'm Rachel Emmershaw, a fantasy author, and today I will be playing Adrenal, who is a Urdrin elf who's a bit of a paladin.
And
are we doing like descriptions and stuff for the characters? Or?
As much or as little as you want. I'm sure we'll learn all about them as the game begins.
Okay, cool. Stay quiet then. Everyone's someone else.
Suzannah?
Hi, I'm Suzannah Rowntree. I write historical fantasy, and I'm playing Ferocity, who is a tiefling who has recently undergone some major life changes. And yes, I'm sure you'll find out more about that.
I'm David Dalglish, author of Epic Fantasy, and I am playing Stubbs, a human paladin.
Yeah, and my name is Yaroslav Barsukov. I am also, coincidentally, a fantasy author, and I'm playing Ignis. I'm also a tiefling. I'm Ferocity's brother, and I'm extremely proud of my tiefling legacy. I think the tiefling legacy is the way to go. It's in my blood and bones, and I'm sure you will learn of the way I think about Ferocity's life changes too in the course of this game. I'm also a pyromaniac. But better leave it for the later.
Fantastic. I'm already getting some sibling rivalry. So let's get into the game. So our story begins, well, last night, all of you were enjoying a drink in the Wobbling Goblin, a tavern in Waterdeep. Toasts were drunk, songs were sung. Your memories of the night are a little bit hazy, but you have the impression that things may have gotten out of hand. And the next day you awake, you're not sure how long you've been out. You awake with splitting headaches in a room that's totally unfamiliar to you. You're lying on an ancient four-poster bed, and as you look around, you realize you're not alone. With you are some of the people you were with in the tavern last night.
Am I wearing my armor and all my equipment still?
Yep, fully dressed. It's like you just passed out and woke up here in this strange place.
Stubbs immediately gets up, sits on the edge of the bed, rubs his head, looks around. This bed is too nice for me.
Stubbs.
I still have my armor on. I've been kidnapped.
As you're
immediately
looking
at the others.
Stubbs, there are sort of thick, heavy drapery surrounding the bed. But as you're sitting on the edge, you sort of catch a glimpse just through the edge of the drapery. You think you see a face watching you. It's incredibly pale. And you just see a pale face with two blue eyes. But just as you're about to cry out or make a motion, it's gone.
Stubbs, did you see something?
So I'm currently still surrounded by the curtains, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of us?
So we're on different beds, right?
Hey, you're all in the same bed.
We're all in the same bed.
Oh, Ferocity is getting out of that bed. She doesn't want to have anything to do with that. She left all that behind her.
There was no way I was sleeping in one bed with you, Stubbs. God.
I look at the two tieflings
armor on. Which
Okay,
may be necessary for you. I don't know you very well.
Oh man.
Regardless, scary face. And then immediately try to go running out.
Okay, let's burn it. Let's shit, man. I
go barging. I probably tangle up in the drapery as I try to get off the bed. Stubbs is not the most dexterous of people, but does his best to go staggering out and find out what the scary face was.
I've grabbed my warhammer, being like, what is going on right now?
So, Stubbs, you're falling out of the bed in a tangle of drapery. Adrenal, dropping your warhammer in surprise. Ferocity, what are you doing?
Oh well, I'm kind of in the same situation. Probably I burst out of the bed on the other side, and I'm also getting a bit tangled up in the curtains because I'm not all that dexterous either.
And Ignis?
Yeah, I'm watching those guys trying to get out of the bed.
Taking a more laid-back approach. So
Yeah.
as you struggle, Stubbs, you may have to sort of slightly tear the drapes down as you struggle your way free.
Oh, I'll bring the whole bed down if necessary.
So there's you do, in fact, there's a crash, the bed sort of starts to splinter, the posts come down, and you emerge into a room that seems now to be completely empty. You can't see the mysterious face that was watching you a moment before. It's a dark room, dark and dusty, with a really high ceiling, thick curtains on the walls. You can just make out a door at the back. You're confident you've never been here before.
I call out to Stubbs and I go, "What is it? Why are we here? I do not know what has happened. Do you know?"
I turn to them. I start pointing individually to all of them. Is this your house? Your house?
No, this
Your
is
house?
not my house, Stubbs.
I
This is
don't
not-
live in a
Everyone's
house. I don't live in a house, but I can cast light.
Yeah, go ahead. So
Oh! Stubbs lifts his shield. Light, if I remember right, you cast it on an object and it makes it glow, correct? Stubbs
Yes.
lifts his shield and starts pointing at the shield. Light this! Light the way!
Okay, so I've just rolled a 14 with my D20.
you don't
should
need to. Yeah, you don't need to roll for light. So you just
okay.
You extend your hand, you touch the shield,
Yeah.
and it starts to glow with a sort of warm, friendly light, which is much needed in this room, which seems cold and dark and mysterious. With the light sort of brightening the room a little bit, you can see a bit more. There's an ancient wicker armchair in the corner. There's a door at the back, as I said. There's heavy curtains on the wall, but as you pull them aside, there's no window behind them. It's just a blank stretch of wall. Anybody who wants to inspect the room further can make me perception or investigation checks as they prefer.
I mean, Adrenal is freaking out a bit right now. She's going to use Divine Sense because she needs to try and get her bearings at this point.
So Divine Sense,
It's detecting good and evil. So within 60 feet, celestials, fiends, undead, anything within 60 feet. Because Adrenal is freaking out.
you're not detecting anything that feels particularly good or evil. This house is giving you a weird vibe, but it's not something you're not getting a sense as to whether it's evil or good. And no celestials or fiends or undead. I mean, no fiends beside the tieflings.
Yeah.
Ignis begins to feverishly pace the floor and asks, what time is it now? What time is it now? What time is it now? I need to meet some people to pay them off at 12. Does anybody know what time it is?
Can you
do
please
know-
stop just thinking about this kind of thing? Why are you even in debt to these people? Like,
Yeah, listen, this is Ferocity. That's a real world out there. You don't understand that, okay? I've been in a trade.
Steps between the two of them. Later.
Stops,
He also,
man.
by the way,
Okay.
he looks so happy to have his glowing shield, by the way. The happiest 6'1" person you've ever seen. Later. And then looks to Ignis. Pay later, fight later too. And then goes to the bricked window and scratches his chin. And it's clearly, is it like a bricked over window or like just brick wall? There's not even
Just
a hint
a
of a window.
blank wall. Sort of like it's a total
I
blank
kick
to you. You kick it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to make an attack roll against the wall?
That's up to you, but can I feasibly miss?
No, I don't think you can miss. You stub your toe.
That's appropriate.
I thought you said you were flicking the wall. I was like, roll to
No,
flick.
kick. I mean, okay. Stubbs very heroically bounces around on one foot briefly, and then stops and then scratches at his chin again.
Okay, Adrenal is inspecting. She's wondering about bed and how we all ended up in the bed. Did we all look like we'd kind of been dragged there when we arrived, or did it look like we were gently sleeping there, like we might have been teleported?
No, I think it's a kidnapping. This is a rare occasion, but I agree with Stubbs at this point. It's a kidnapping. I think Daniela was a traitor or whatever, and they kidnapped. I think we're still in the inn, maybe in the basement.
Is there something we all have in common that we can figure out why the four of us are here? Because I only know Ignis, and I mean Stubbs.
I
I've
surely
got a
hope we have
vague
something
memory.
in common. Ferocity.
Because we are all such amazing, beautiful people.
We were all in the pub last night. We were all drinking last night. Did you drink something? I wonder if we all drank the same thing. We were not.
I was drinking whiskey.
I was drinking milk.
Okay, that rules out Dirty out then. I wonder if we were teleported here, if this is some kind of mind trick. Maybe we have never left our beds.
No, it's headache should be a symptom, right? We've been poisoned. Obviously, we've been poisoned. Ignis begins to feverishly pace the floor again. Just
can't have been poisoned. I am Paladin of Ilmatar. I cannot be poisoned.
Adrenal, make me an
He looks around
investigation check. As you try and figure out whether you were dragged here or teleported. Ferocity, you were wondering if you all had something in common. Make me a straight D20 roll to see how much you can remember about last night. So, Adrenal, what did you get on your investigation?
A 2.
A 2. Well,
good first roll of the game, I think, guys. Good first roll.
Adrenal, you're reasonably certain that this is a room in a house.
So is there a door? Is there like a door? Or we just
I'm not even convinced it is a room at this point, I'm afraid.
You do see a door. There's a door at the back of the room.
Oh, there's a door. Why? Well, I go to the door, obviously. Why am I kicking the wall when there's a door? I go to the door.
Why are you kicking the wall?
I did not notice the door. We needed the lights. I shine the light up and down, checking for traps. Stubb doesn't know how, but he thinks he's looking for traps.
You can't see any traps.
Okay.
Step aside. Step aside. I'll cast magic hand and I'll just throw the door open. Come on, man. Step aside.
But magic hand. Can magic hand open doors? Magic hand wimpy like you. I am I shall brace. There could be bad things on the other side of the door, and Stubbs must guard.
Now, human paladin, of course, for real. Now, it's a tiefling wizard who will open the door, man.
Seeing this, I go and stand next to you so that I can help defend you. Should anything attack you?
Are you wearing chainmail? Are you wearing chainmail?
We are a very unstealthy party, you and me, Stubbs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent. You wearing the strong armor. Much better than scary, half-naked. Are they demons? Yes.
No, we're not demons. Yes. We're tieflings, man. Come on. This here's
that is a very common
Stubbs knows that
stereotype and
training. Stubbs kicks the door open because he doesn't like this conversation.
And we'll go back to that just after we've had Ferocity's D20 roll.
I got an 11.
11. Okay, great. So you rack your brains trying to remember any detail about last night that might explain what has happened here. The only thing you get sort of snatches. You remember everybody singing a very silly song about wizard staffs. You remember somebody dancing on the table, but you're not sure who. You remember a woman with copper-colored hair who was very chummy with all of you. You can't see her here now, though.
I remember the woman. I don't remember anything else. Okay.
And now
there was a woman. I do not remember a woman. Who is this woman?
She was like a tall blonde. She I think she approached Stubbs because I may be mistaken, but I think it was Stubbs who was doing the singing. If it could be called singing at all.
Stubbs is a great singer. I sang a hymn to Ilmatar. I'm still kicking the door, by the way. I'm guessing he has no idea.
Stubbs, you kick open the door.
It opens. Oh, okay. Did not expect that.
It's not locked. It opens actually surprisingly easily. In fact, you probably put a little bit more force into it than was necessary, which actually carries you through into the room beyond. You think he might have dented it a little bit. It's sort of splintered. It leads into a bathroom. So a huge copper wash tub dominates the room. There's also a basin and a guard robe, fairly standard. And there's a door in the wall to your right.
I would say we cast detect magic. We need to understand what this is all about, because there was a woman, and we have headache. There may be some magic involved. We need to cast detect magic, but we'll need to wait like 10 minutes. I need to prepare my stuff. It's a ritual. Stuff in case you don't know. You can't do it like with blunt force. Okay.
While he's casting detect magic, because I believe that takes a second, I elbow Adrenal on the side. My head hurts. Do you detect evil with your fellow paladin abilities?
There was nothing.
In that tub. Particularly that tub.
The house is strange, but there is no fiends or undead or anything. It is something wary about this place, but I do not know anymore.
Ferocity, are you doing anything on entering the bathroom?
I'm blocking the door, by the way. I'm just waiting for Ignis behind me to cast the magic.
Sorry. I could either be blessing Ignis with his magic, or I could be
Thank you.
curing Stubbs' headache.
No. Forget about Stubbs. Come on, Ferocity. Just
No, okay. This is just like you, always thinking of yourself. I'm going to cure Stubbs' headache.
You're telling me that I'm the one thinking only about myself? You left the family. Come on. I was left with my father. He's ailing. I've been at his bedside for this whole time, and you telling me that come on, man. I mean, this is rich. This is rich.
What? Dad is sick. You didn't tell me that. Why didn't you tell me that last night? Okay. That's it. I'm coming home.
Stubbs turns around, looks at Ignis. Those are not words to detect magic. Those are bickering. Please detect magic.
And I say to Ferocity, you know magic?
Yeah, I'm a cleric of Elebrin Leothiel.
Nah. Are you my head, I've often been told I am a bit narrow-sighted. Can you look around, see if there are things of use around here? Maybe you'll see more than my eyes will right now reveal.
Should I cast light again?
No.
You can roll. You can make a perception check.
A perception
check. Have a look around the room. Are you looking around? Are you going past Stubbs into the bathroom and looking around in there, or are you looking around the bedroom?
I've gone into the bathroom with everybody else. Yeah, so
I am still blocking the door. So until I am shoved in there, I'm still waiting for detect magic.
Oh, okay.
Ignis said he was gonna.
I will try and help Ferocity if we just do some perception checks around the room, see what we can see.
Okay. And we're going to pause there for a second, because as you're all about to start your search of the room or even your detect magic, Stubbs, you notice something emerging from that big copper bathtub. A sort of
burn it!
Thin, hairy leg, and then another, like a sort of skeletal hand clutching the side of the tub as an enormous spider rises out of the bath.
I drop whatever I'm doing, like detect magic, whatever. I just drop it, and I just panicking cast a firebolt at the creature.
I'm gonna guess we need to roll initiative.
I'd like you all to roll me some initiative, please. So that's for those who are new to the game, that's a D20, and then Suzannah, you'll add. Just a straight D20 for you, Suzannah. Anybody else need their initiative rolls?
I made a D20 roll. It says 16.
This is the first character I've ever played that has a minus in initiative. This is.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. So Ignis, for you, you add a +3 to your roll. So you rolled 16. Is that right?
Yes, I rolled 16.
So that's a 19 total.
19.
Adrenal?
7. This is not going well.
7. Got it. Ferocity?
9 for initiative.
9. Very good. Hold on. And Stubbs.
10.
Great job, guys. Luckily, the spider rolled a 6, so...
All that matters.
Collective terribleness. Woo! Saves the day.
So we start with Ignis.
So,
Stubbs still blocking the door to the bathroom, I should add, so you're going to either need to shove him aside or possibly incinerate him first.
No, I shove Stubbs aside. I mean, I don't hate him that much. Stubbs, get the hell out of the way. Get out of the way, man. Get out of the way.
To push me toward the giant spider or pull me
No.
away from the giant spider?
I tried to push him into the bedroom, and I just hurl the firebolt into the spider once the Stubbs get the hell out of the way.
So,
Okay. All right, I will. He's going to have to delay his action until mine for me to get out of the way.
Okay, I push Stubbs out of the way, and I delay my action until.
Okay.
I'm not going to incinerate him.
I get the impression
He's
that
a
Stubbs
human,
isn't
but-
going anywhere. Is that correct, Stubbs?
No, Stubbs is going to go somewhere.
Hi.
Is it my
So-
turn?
No. So
Ignis,
Ignis needs to hold action then until Stubbs is
Yeah.
not in incineratable distance.
Okay, so your fireball's at the ready, Ignis, but Stubbs has got to go first. What's up, Stubbs? What are you doing?
Stubbs promptly. So you're just like trying to grab and shove me out of the way, right? Stubbs lets himself get shoved out of the way and then promptly grabs the door and slams it shut as fast as he can.
Wait, we're in the room. You've just locked us in with the spider.
No, no one's in the room with the spider. I have been blocking the door with the spider. You guys were checking the room we were in. The spider is going to be safely locked in the scary bathroom
Okay,
until
spider's locked
Ignis
in.
blows the door open.
All right, so Stubbs, you've slammed the door shut. Ignis, it's
And then
your
I-
turn now.
By the
sorry,
way, I'm going
sorry.
to ready an action to attack the first scary thing that emerges from that door.
Brilliant. Ignis.
Yeah. I turned to Stubbs. What the hell was that? We were ready to incinerate that thing. Why did
Stubbs
he have
like
to
this.
shut the door?
Oh, he's like his arm is shaking, the shield is shaking, shadows are going everywhere because the shield is currently glowing.
I step away from the door.
Okay, you going to do anything else? Are you going to get an action ready to attack anything that comes through the door?
Yeah, I have my firebolt at the ready to attack whatever comes through the door.
Great. So, 2 people with readied actions, and now we go to ferocity.
Have they even seen the spider?
I
do they?
think you 2 are back in the bedroom, ferocity and Adrenal, so you may not have seen what is going on with the spider, but you do know that suddenly Stubbs has slammed the door. His shield's going crazy, the light's bouncing off the walls. He and Ignis are in fighting pose. So something's happened. Ferocity, your go.
Well, I was trying to check out the room, wasn't I?
Yes. And what would you like to do in reaction to this new?
Well, I don't know. The boys seem to have it pretty handled. I can.
Oh yeah, we got the great.
Yeah, you want to just carry on checking out the room?
I mean, it's just a giant spider. I'm used to those.
As an aside, for those who are watching, Suzannah is
So
from
Ferocity
Australia.
says, Ferocity's like, sorry, Dior.
They're huge spiders.
Yeah,
Huge spiders there.
Anyway, so I'm like, what is it, blokes? And they say, oh, it's a huge spider. So I'm like, oh, okay then. Well, let me know if it comes through. What can we see around the room?
Yeah, roll me a perception check in that case. So it's a d20 plus 2.
Okay, I rolled an 11 before for perception, so plus 2 equals 13.
Fantastic. I tell you what, Ferocity, I will tell you everything that you have noticed in your check of the room after the fight has concluded, but I will tell you you've noticed something interesting that you're going to share with the others when they're done potentially incinerating this spider. Adrenal, it's your turn.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, the boys are causing havoc. The doors slamming, potentially screaming and shaking going on. I'm now realizing that I haven't really investigated the room that we're in, and I'm just going to do a quick perception because I'm worried there's going to be monsters in the room with us. So yeah, I would like to do a perception of my own.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, natural 20!
Oh, very nice.
Thank you.
You-
Plus 3, 23.
You have also noticed a few very interesting things about this room. And again, we will get back to that.
No spiders, though. No spiders.
No, you have. Oh, yeah. One thing you have not noticed is any additional enemies in the room you're in. Just interesting features of the landscape that we will come back to. And now it's the spider's turn. So waiting on the other side of the door, there's silence for a few seconds, and then you hear a scratching. And Stubbs, you splintered the door a little when you kicked it open. You just see one very long leg coming out through the crack in the door and sort of questing around.
That sounds like something I could smash with my hammer.
Oh my god, the door's going to break.
Well, we're back at the top of the round, and it's...
I'm ready in action to smack the first scary thing that came through the door, and that sounds scary.
Yep, go ahead, smack the scary thing.
Please roll a natural 1 and have the door break open.
Does a 20 hit?
It does.
All right, well, that spider just took 5 damage.
Very nice. Okay, the leg sort of like recoils a little bit. And that was your readied action, and we're now back at the top of the round, so you can, so now you'll go.
Wait, did Ignatius also have a held action?
Yeah, I've actually ready too.
I believe he was ready to burn it.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Ignis, I forgot. Go ahead and set fire to it.
Yeah, I set fire. Hurl the fireball through cracks in the door, whatever.
Great. Do you want to roll me a d20?
Yeah, 18.
And have you added your +6 to hit to that?
No. Just give me 1 second. I should.
No, that's fine.
That's a hit.
Yep, that's a definite hit. So now roll me a d10 to tell me how much fire damage you do.
So, I rolled 1.
Stubbs is not impressed.
A little sort of spark of fire shoots from your finger and sort of singes a little bit of hair on the spider's leg. It's something.
Stubbs yells, "Happens to all of us," and then I believe it's his turn and he swings again.
Indeed.
Shut off, Stubbs.
However, I doubt a 13 hits.
It does not, unfortunately. You
Okay.
smack the door, splintering it a little bit further.
And other than that, I keep right next to Ignis to try and keep him from being spider food.
Ignis, it's your turn.
Do I need to ready the firebolt, or can I hurl another firebolt at
You can hurl another
Oh wait,
fireball.
I'm sorry. He goes before me. I screwed that up.
He delayed.
Oh, that's permanent. That's right. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Yeah, it stops in the way.
No, you can target the leg. That's the only bit you can target at the moment.
Okay. Right. So I hurl another firebolt at the leg,
Go for it.
protruding from the door. So I have 11. I've rolled 11 plus 6. It's 17, right?
That's a hit.
Cool. And I roll another d10. It's 4.
That's better.
Yeah, better than before.
Not
Yeah,
a one.
you definitely singe the leg this time, and it sort of waves around in a frenzy, trying to withdraw through the gap in the door.
Ignis yells, "This thing's tough."
Ferocity.
Oh, I'm a pacifist.
It's a spider.
And I like spiders.
Stubbs is going to have words after this.
So you can choose to do nothing on your turn, or if you're of a mind to help the guys out, you could.
Okay, fine. I cast a thaumaturgy cantrip. Which causes my my voice to boom very loudly, and I just shout at the spider, "Go away!"
Yep, your voice booms very loud. The spider's leg continues to wave. You're not sure of the effect yet.
Stubbs nearly falls over out of surprise.
So a definite effect on Stubbs.
Ignis knows Frosty real well. He looks at her like, really, really, thank you so much.
Sorry, no, it's my go. I just can't stop laughing. Okay. Adrenal, first of all, pauses to stare at Ferocity and then grabs her warhammer and tries to. Am I able to see the spider leg?
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to try slamming it, please.
Go ahead.
16. Does that hit?
Yep, that hits.
Oh, good. 1d8 plus 3. Oh, 5 damage.
Very nice. The leg is barely a leg anymore. It's been burnt. It's been smashed. It's been hit. It's sort of weaving pathetically. Okay, it's the spider's turn. You sort of hear a scuttling sound, and then the leg sort of droops, and it flops out of the door and onto the floor.
Ugh.
Oh no, is it gonna like oh no, wait. Does this look like it's about to become a whole spider now? Like it's just kinda like separated?
No,
Please
it
don't
looks
give her
like
ideas.
its leg has fallen off.
And now there are 5. There are 8 spiders. No, okay.
I hate it when that happens. Ferocity says.
Ugh.
Can I
Poor spider.
I'm going
Can
to
I
point
reach
out that
down
you're
and-
still shouting super loud when you say that.
Oh,
Sorry, I hate that.
so there's no the spider's not moving, the bit that we can see on the floor.
You can't, the leg's it's fallen to the floor, it's twitched once, and then it lies still. And as for the rest of the spider, you can hear it scuttling, but it's hidden by the door. Stubbs.
Ugh.
Well, Stubbs.
I can. Oh,
Stubbs hesitates for just a moment. One leg down. 5 to go, and then smashes open the door
No,
to try and hit
Stubbs,
the
it's
spider.
so like you. He has 8 legs. He has 8 legs, not 6. Jesus.
So he shoves through the smash broken door and is about to smack the spider the moment he gets within range.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very small bathroom. You're within range. The spider's hunkered back against the tub, but you can still reach it.
Guys, have we stopped to ask the spider? Like, maybe he got kidnapped as well.
I rolled a 2.
That is a miss, unfortunately. You flail at the spider, but to no real effect. Ignis.
Wait, stop.
Real quick, actually, I have to stop for a second. Frosty's voice increasing spell, does that override the casting of light if it's a concentration?
How much energy is that concentration, is it?
I was just curious, because otherwise I might be in the dark.
No, I think you're all right.
Okay. But
So
it would
Ignis-
have explained the 2 is all I'm saying, but okay then, fine.
Ignis taps Stubbs on the shoulder. Stubbs, look, man, he's hunkered down. He's afraid, man. Maybe Adrian is right, and he's actually.
It is a spider, not a dog. We cannot command it.
Yeah, but we can try talking to him at least, man.
Burn it! It's what you're good at.
Okay, I prepare. Yep.
I feel like I'm convinced. I feel like I'm convincing everybody to accept the spider. We totally could tame it. I've heard they make very good pets.
Okay, Ignis. Yeah, I mean, Ignis is torn between his obvious paramaniacal tendencies and his and the idea to talk to the spider, which has been suggested by Adrenal.
Does anybody have animal handling?
I don't. I can have like merchant scale, but I'm not sure. I lean forward to the spider and say, "Can you understand us? Can you talk? Can you talk?"
Do you want to make me an animal handling check? So
which dice is it?
so that is a D20, and it's just a straight D20 roll for you. You don't get to add anything to it because you're not.
It's
that
very
good.
bad. It's 3.
The spider sort of hisses at you. It might be trying to say hello, but you don't think it is. That was just a speech. So if you want to do something else, you can, or otherwise we will go to ferocity.
I hurl another firebolt at the spider. Enough talking to him. He obviously can only hiss. We need to kill it now.
We've tried diplomacy for all of one sentence. We're done.
Failed.
Briefly tried diplomacy. So that's a D20 plus 6, and then a D10 if you hit.
It's 15 on D20 plus 6 roll.
Yep, that hits.
And then it's finally it's 8.
Oh, very nice. You hurl that firebolt right at the spider's swollen abdomen, and it just ignites, and the spider curls in on itself. Its legs crinkle up. It makes a sound. It's pretty gnarly. And then it twitches once, twice, and it lies still.
Finally, man. I hate critters.
For a minute, I almost thought you were going to act like a decent tiefling.
Yeah, I am acting as a decent tiefling. Ferocity, look. I mean, this is ignition. It's effective. Anything that tries to attack us, we burn it. We don't wait. We don't talk to it. I mean, look at it. It hisses and...
You and I are going to have a talk. You need Ellerman Lathiel.
So has anyone seen the movie Office Space?
Of course.
All right, well, I'm basically doing to the spider's corpse what's done to a printer in that movie. So I'm basically smashing it repeatedly nonstop for probably a good 30 seconds to make sure it doesn't get back up.
Okay, that's
While I'm
much
assuming...
better than the visual that went into my mind when you mentioned a printer. So I'm glad that you're smashing the printer.
All of you are missing out on a fantastic movie.
For anybody looking into the bathroom, you can just see kind of like goo and spider ichor sort of flying up against the walls, and you can hear sort of steady, repetitive squish, squish, squish.
You hear counting as I remove leg by leg.
While Stubbs is smooshing the spider and Ferocity and Ignis are having a domestic, can I please be looking around the room?
Yes.
Any more spiders or anything else? I'm very curious.
Now we will get to what you and Ferocity spotted on your perception checks. So, Adrenal, you notice that as you're sort of inspecting the room, something that seems odd to you is that the furniture, even though it looks very like solid and old, on closer inspection, you realize that it's actually very flimsy and insubstantial. It's sort of, the chair is glued together. The bed doesn't really look designed to support everybody's weight, which might explain why it splintered so easily when you were trying to get out of it. You and Ferocity also both noticed that there's a thin vertical crack running from the floor to the ceiling in the middle of the room. And actually, it seems to continue through the floorboards and into the room below. Just a very, very thin crack in the wall.
Seeing that things look a little shaky, can I just start smashing a few things up just to like see if it looks very like
good choice
material kind of stuff? When in doubt, use your warhammer.
Yeah,
good choice.
You find that actually everything is very flimsy. Your warhammer makes short work of it all. It's almost like it's made of some kind of like very thin wooden, like sort of almost like plywood. Everything splinters apart. The furniture in the room, the walls are actually quite solid. You can't sort of break through them into any rooms beyond. But the furniture itself, it's matchstick thin.
The same for the floorboard? Is that hard or is that flimsy?
The floorboards are tougher to get through, but the furniture is just very, very thin and insubstantial.
Okay. I say to the others, I feel like this is a show we have been caught in with some very bad props.
Looks like it. Let's smash everything.
Oh, Ferocity's on board with that. She's got a mace after all.
Stubbs comes out of the bathroom to find everyone smashing everything, and is just very confused.
Says Stubbs, who was just smashing a spider. Okay, you joined the smashing club.
He's covered in
All
slime.
right, he points to the chair you just smashed. Was the chair going to attack you?
No, and that's
Says-
why that's
Are there mimics?
Says the
Stubbs
guy
is
covered in
immediately
slime.
Stubbs is now doing an inspection for anything that might be a mimic.
Was the dead spider going to attack you?
It did. It came right at me with it clawed out of the tub and it legs and when I shut the door, it shoved the door. I saved everyone lives and no one cares. He goes back into the bathroom, by the way. Is anything in the tub?
is
there's
anything
a
else in
key-
the tub?
There's a key in the tub. The spider seems to have been sitting on it.
Oh
A
god,
little,
no.
brass key.
Stubbs
Oh,
picks up the
wait.
spider bathtub key.
Oh god,
He
I've
looks
got
at
like
it.
sore vibes. Please don't tell me this is sore. I'm gonna freak out. Oh god.
I'm assuming it's not attached to a string, or is there any weird marks on the key, or like a little dangly key that says room 12?
Like, contrary to everything else in this house, the key looks pretty ordinary. But then, Stubbs was worried about mimics, so you never can be sure.
Look, the bathtub could have attacked me, all right? I have done something like that to players before. It's great. All right, well, Stubb looks, there's a door in the bathroom, right?
Mhm.
So just pauses a moment. Why would the door to the hallway go through the bathtub but for the bedroom?
I do not know, but Stubbs, look over here, and I point out the vertical crack running down the wall, and I'm like, do we
That
break
is much too big. The key won't fit or do anything.
it? No, but maybe it is flaw in the design. Maybe we break it. I do not like
Alright.
the idea of going through doors people have pre-designed. It is.
Well, you look, I hand Adrenal the key. You
Ah.
look tough and could open the door. I must pray to Ilmatar for guidance. He stops a moment, looks around. Ilmatar, we are in deep shit. Help. Prayer is done. Adrenal, lead the way. I will guard with my shield.
I put the key in my pocket and I try and pry open the crack that we noticed earlier.
Yeah.
Ferocity helps with her
Stubbs
mace.
starts pointing toward the door in the bathroom. And
Stubbs,
looking.
can you not help her? I've got one dagger. I can't help her. Can you do something?
I'm helping. I'm thumping it with my mace and see if the crack does anything.
Adrenal, you can make me an athletics check, and because ferocity is helping you, you can make it with advantage.
Ooh, thank you for asking. Ah, good. It was a 3 and a 13. The 13 is plus 5, 18.
Yeah, so you can tell as you pry at the crack, you can feel that there is some give, but you're not able to open it any wider than it already is. There's something resisting you. You're not sure where, but there is something that's preventing you from widening this crack.
Do I feel like if more pressure was applied, it would give a bit?
You don't feel like you are strong enough to apply enough pressure yourself.
Stubbs.
Stop. Can you help her? Can you not stand there praying? Can you
um,
help her pry the hellish thing open?
But it's a wall. We have a door. Why can't we open the door with the key?
We have awoken in a place that we do not know, and with no understanding of how we got here, with a key to a door. This feels very much like a maze that we are being led down. I do not like to follow rules like that when I have been kidnapped.
Aye, but the spider had the key, and the spiders are not smart enough to lay a trap like that.
So the
Yeah,
spider
this means there's somebody more intelligent than a spider in play.
No, there's so far only one spider.
Well, that reels you out, Ignis.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, it's just like you. Thank you so much, Ferocity. Well, says who? Says someone who has abandoned our whole way of life, who has abandoned our family, who has left us all hanging, and you don't even have the tiefling accent anymore.
It's a long story. I think I agree with Stubbs. Sorry to the elf, but it's going to be interesting at any rate. maybe if the only way out is through the door, then the only way out is through the door. My head hurts.
Here is the key. You may go through the door if you wish, and I give you the key.
I think right. Stubbs like puts his shield down, puts the key in his pocket, takes his hammer, slams it into the crack, and then tries to see if he can wedge it open even a bit.
Okay,
Seeing Stubbs do that, can I help him do it?
yeah, make me an athletics check with advantage, Stubbs.
That's an 8.
Okay, you
With advantage, you rolled a 3.
Yes.
Well,
My dice rolls were a 3 and a 5.
beautiful.
No, it's a great day for Stubbs.
It's not budging at all for you. You can't move it even an inch. But as you sort of work at it, a gust of sulfurous air sweeps through the room, sort of through the crack. It's an incredibly strong sort of gale of wind. So I would like you all to make either a dexterity or a strength saving throw, your choice, as you try and avoid being knocked off your feet.
It's D20, right?
Yes.
A d20, and then you can add 3 to your roll, Ignis. Ferocity, it's just a
0
for you, yeah.
I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
David. I'm sorry that happened when you did that, and it didn't happen when I did it.
Oh no, this is way better.
Go ahead and tell me what you rolled, everybody. Adrenal?
11.
11. Ferocity?
6.
6. Ignis?
6 plus 3.
9. Stubbs?
10.
Okay, Adrenal and Stubbs, you are both, you just about managed to kind of hold on to some furniture or plant your feet and avoid being knocked over by the gale force wind. Ignis and Ferocity, you're both knocked over onto your backs, and you each take, 1 second, you each take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you're knocked into the walls of the floor.
Oh my
So
god.
Does the wind stop? Does the crack reseal?
The crack's still there. The wind dies away. You sort of hear, carried on the breeze before it dissipates, kind of mocking laughter.
Oh, now it's attacking us. Oh, good.
Mighty Ilmater, we are in very deep shit. Amen. All right, I say we take the key and we run, and I lead with my shield, and we go until we find an exit, and then we run some more, and then we pretend we were never here.
Agreed on that last part.
Good plan. I have the key. I'm going to the door in the bathroom. Stubbs wants out.
Okay. So, the key turns in the lock. The door opens with a sort of creak of ancient hinges. It leads out into a sort of a very big, high-ceilinged room that seems like it's a library. It's lit by, so it's a little bit brighter than the room you've just emerged from. There's sort of candles at intervals shedding a dim light. You can see shelves of books lining the walls. In the center of the room, there's a ruinous spiral staircase leading down. Once it was a very grand thing, but now sections of the steps have sort of rotted away, leaving large gaps. And on the far side of the room, just illuminated, you can see, as your eyes adjust to the change in the light, a human-sized figure sitting at a desk.
I come to a screeching halt and then just literally stand there unsure of what to do.
Are you in the door, Stubbs, again?
No, I've actually come into the room this time. Stubbs is in a much more of a hurry.
Ignis presses his back against the wall and shouts, "Burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it."
What about you, Adrenal? What are you doing?
I feel like I took a bit of a lingering look at the crack, thinking, "Oh, she's really wanting to attack it again." She sees all the others going, and so she's kind of very slowly and reluctantly follows after the others, so she's quite at a distance behind them.
Okay, so coming into the room later than everyone else. And you, Ferocity?
I head around Stubbs and go straight towards the figure at the desk. because I'm interested in
No,
who it
no,
is and
sister,
what they might
don't
be
do
reading.
that. Don't do that, sister. Don't do
Okay,
that.
she's-
Come back.
Hello?
Don't do that.
Oh, shush,
If she's
Ignis.
going forward, I'm not saying anything, but I am staying right beside her because I'm going to make sure I'm next to whoever's closest.
Okay, so Ferocity and Stubbs, as you advance into the room and get closer to the figure, so you're about sort of halfway between the door and the figure now, you see that it's not a person at all. It's a china doll, but human-sized. She's got a sort of white glazed face and blue glassy eyes, and she's wearing a faded pink sort of crinoline frock. She's got sort of glossy brown ringlets, and she's completely motionless.
Ignis has finally come to his senses.
You were
Stopped screaming.
so worried.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm just cautious. Okay, I'm just cautious.
Stubbs is still terrified. Why are you both fine with this?
I'm cautious.
Oh, look, it's only a China doll. Come on, Stubbs. Ignis, cast something to let us know whether it's evil or not.
I cast identify. Identify.
Right, so
Identify
that's
magic, or detect magic.
Are you casting that as a ritual?
I think so. Do you have other possibilities? I think I'm casting.
It takes like 10 minutes to do that as a ritual, doesn't it?
Can I cast
You
it
could
as a
detect
spell?
magic and just see if it's magical.
Okay,
You should be able to do that quickly.
I cast detect magic.
Yeah, you do get a sense that this doll is magical.
I told you. It's not just a doll. I told you that it's dangerous.
Did you tell us it was just magical, or you just started shouting you were correct without explaining why?
Well, in the power of Elebrin Leothiel, I'm not afraid of any of these things, and I think you need to look into this as well because you seem
Stubbs is,
very
like,
nervous.
Trying to slowly
I'm a
nudge his way
tiefling.
in front of Ferocity. to keep her from getting closer.
I'm not abandoning the tiefling way or following any kind of human beliefs or elven beliefs. I don't care. I have my blood. I have my heritage. I'm not abandoning that Ferocity.
Should I throw a look at it?
Let's get back to Adrenal quickly, just because we haven't heard from her in a while. Are you still with the crack? Are you with the creepy doll?
So, I mean, is the doll down the stairs? I know there was a ruin of stairs. Did they go down the stairs?
No, we're still upstairs. This is in the next room beyond the bathroom.
Okay, and they're all crowded around the doll, right?
So Ignis,
Halfway.
I think, is still backed up against the door. Stubbs and Ferocity are halfway between the door and the doll.
Stubbs and Frosty. Okay, I'm gonna. I mean, Stubbs. Am I right in assuming that I kind of got an impression that you're a bit of a protective type from the fact that you keep seeming to stay close to people? Yeah,
Big shield.
you and me. So, seeing that Stubbs is almost there to protect Frosty, I will go and be closer to Ignis in case anything happens, and just be looking around the room and trying to see what I see. So, probably a perception check.
Yeah, make me a perception check. Go ahead.
Okay, 15.
Yeah, fantastic. Let me just tell you what you see. So similarly to the previous room, the furniture again appears flimsy and insubstantial, sort of shoddily put together, like it wouldn't bear your weight. You can also see so the chair that the doll is sitting on, and the desk, and also a coat of arms on the wall to your left, all bear the same emblem, which is a sort of grinning dragon's head.
Does that ring familiar at all?
A little bit, yeah. Make a religion check for me.
Straight 7, plus nothing.
It looks familiar, but you can't quite place it.
I use my supply chain ability to remember some information I may have heard from other traders or people I've dealt with, had dealings with.
Absolutely. Make me a history check.
It's D20, right?
Yeah, that's a D20, and for you, you will add +4.
So it's 14.
Fantastic. Yeah, you do remember something. You remember some traders you dealt with many years ago, kind of odd people, who said that they worshipped a demigod called Astorinian, and they wore clothes with the same grinning dragon's heads. You don't know who Asterinian is. You just know that their emblem is this dragon's head. But Adrenal, you've heard of Asterinian.
Have I?
Yes. And when Ignis, if you share this with the group, then
Yes, I'm sharing. Guys, look. I remember that. I had once dealt with a group of complete nut jobs. Religious fanatics. They had that hoods stamped with this dragon emblem thing everywhere, and they said they were worshiping some Adverinian or something.
Ah, I have heard of this.
yeah. So you've heard of a demigod called Asterinian, who's kind of like a lesser known, lesser worshipped god, a sort of chaotic neutral god of trickery, who's also known as the Jester. A mercurial deity who often manifests as a copper dragon, and who likes playing elaborate practical jokes that she finds extremely amusing, but which might be less amusing for people receiving it.
Ah, so having heard you say Astralian, I have a feeling I know what is going on. I think that we are being played a practical joke on. I think this is all of this is trickery. This makes sense why the furniture is so flimsy. This is somebody, Astraniel or her followers, might be finding this amusing.
So he uses it as play figures, as playthings, as chess, whatever, right?
Hence this China doll that is not real. It is all a mockery.
So while they're discussing this, I go to one of the bookshelves to grab a book to throw. But before I throw it, I actually flick it open to see if there's writing inside it or if it's just empty.
The book is just filled with the same words over and over again. Play with me.
Stubbs flips it open, just closes it, puts it back, grabs another, flicks it open.
Can I call out?
Same thing.
Can I call out loudly? You know we are here. Will you talk to us?
Yeah, absolutely. Your voice echoes for a moment. Nothing happens, but then the China doll in the chair, you're not aware of her having moved, but when you look back at her, her head has moved. She was sort of sitting
Stubbs
facing the
throws
desk,
the
but her
book
head
at
has
it,
changed.
screaming, "I will not play. We do not want to play. No play, no play," and throws the book at its head.
Yeah, your attack hits. You hit the doll in the head. Immediately,
I'm glad you didn't make me roll for that.
her jaw unhinges, like it just drops open, and she lets out the most piercing, awful scream you have ever heard. I want you all to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
I need a new dice rolling program.
I fail.
What did you get, Stubbs?
10.
10 for Stubbs. I don't know.
3.
3. Oh.
It's never good when your con save is like you can say it on one hand.
Ferocity?
13.
13. And Ignis?
4.
So, all of you, except for Ferocity, take 2 psychic damage as this scream sort of, it seems to invade your mind and turn it upside down. You've just never heard anything more awful. And all of you, including Ferocity, so Ferocity, you don't take any damage. You're just kind of, you harden your nerve and you withstand the effects of the scream, but all of you feel dizzy and sort of black spots swarm in front of your eyes. You all feel like you're going to pass out. When the black haze clears and you can see clearly again, the doll is gone.
Don't like that.
Okay.
What the hell are you doing, man?
Is the doll anywhere around us? First of all, I'm like spinning. I'm like, where the fuck?
Yeah, you can't see her. I mean, the room is not very well lit. There are lots of shadows, but you can't see her anywhere within your immediate vicinity.
I have dark vision, so shadow. Yeah.
Yeah, so with your enhanced vision, you also can't see her anywhere. She doesn't seem to be in the room anymore.
Listen, Stubbs. Ignis gets to his feet because he fell down and he's his head is he's a mess. He's a mess. Stops, man. We need to talk, okay? Before you do anything else, before you grab
I
something.
grab and throw one of the books at him. Look inside. Throws the book.
Are you throwing to hit him? Or okay.
Just more like thud against his chest. But Subs is not in the mood for this conversation.
I catch the book, open the book, and read what is inside. Come play with me. It says, "Come play with me."
Ferocity says, we're trying, because she's wandering around the room looking for a door because she's annoyed. She didn't get hurt, so she's just annoyed, and she's looking for the China doll because it's something that she can smash without feeling guilty.
So Ferocity, since you avoided the damage, you're a little bit more sort of collected at this moment. So make me a perception check with advantage. So that means you can roll twice and take your higher.
Okay.
And that's a
17.
And that's a +2 when you roll perception.
So that's a 19.
Yeah. So you don't see the doll. You do see. You see. So there's the ruined staircase. Looking at it, you think that you might see a way where you could scale it. But something that you also see is the coat of arms in the wall to the left. There's a button in the eye of the laughing dragon.
I push the button, obviously.
So at this point, a whole section of the wall swings sideways, revealing a hidden room, and within the room, a very narrow wooden staircase leading down.
So it's another staircase down.
But this one is totally intact. It hasn't sort of rotted away. You could use it without any difficulty.
But the bottom was on the coat of arms, right? So probably it's like a trail of breadcrumbs this deity left for us. So before we go down, we should think that we're playing right into its hand.
What is this game that we are playing? Are we? Is it an escape the house kind of situation, or are they expecting something else from us?
We can look through the other books. Maybe they hold a clue. I cast detect magic to see if any of the books have any magical aura or any different from the others.
None of the books are particularly standing out as having a magical aura. Stubbs, what are you doing?
I'm just I walked over to where the wall turns sideways and I'm just kind of looking down the stairs and waiting to see if anyone's actually going to go down it or not.
Do you see anything down there?
I've got my light shield. Do I see anything?
You can see that the stairs seem to end on like another sort of like a narrow hallway and then a door. You don't
I grab the book and throw it down it.
Yeah, the book bounces down the stairs, thuds against the door.
I wait for a trap to spring or an animal to go bite it or...
Just lies there.
I guess I'll go first.
By the way,
Stuff starts marching down the stairs.
I'm not interested in books, so I follow pretty closely.
Do we see the whole room? Do we see, because you said that the light is pretty dim. Do we see the whole room, or are there any parts of the main hall which are invisible to us, or in the shadows, or whatever?
So the room's pretty dim, but you can see all of it. There are some shadows, but nothing you can't sort of peer into.
Okay.
So Stubbs and Ferocity, you're heading down the secret stairs. Ignis and Adrenal, what are you doing?
Before I eventually would like to go downstairs, but before I do, I want to look at the crack that was in the other room. Was that going in a direction that would mean it's in this room as well? Can I see it anywhere?
Make me an investigation or perception check with advantage.
Aha! First roll was 16, second was a 4, so +3 for perception, 19.
Very nice. So you do see the crack. It's not the same one. Or at least it doesn't look like the same one because it's on the opposite wall. So if it was the same one, it would have had to go kind of all the way up and like kind of along the top of the house, and then it's now coming down the opposite wall. You also see, kind of about halfway up, a hinge.
Ooh, like as in hinge in or out? So can I tell which way the hinge might go?
It would like open outwards.
Can I push on the wall and call to Igneous and Stubbs to help me? And for us too, if you would like to also.
I can summon the mage hand to help you out with a
Yes.
hinge.
So who's getting in on pushing on
Pushing
the wall?
action.
Are you shouting for us to stop, or are we just the atrocity separating?
I'm shouting for you to come back and help push the wall.
Stubbs pauses.
Sister, come back. Come back. Don't go with him. Don't go with Stubbs. Come on.
I decide to come back and help because I've got to stick around Ignis. Because I'm going to go back and help my dad.
Sister, I've got to ask, why did you leave? Why did you leave? Why did you leave the family? I mean,
I
Right now is the family drama.
Right now. Stubbs goes to, so you're messing with like a hinge, right? Stubbs just stops, looks at it, looks a little rejected. You do remember what happened last time we tried to wedge a hole in the wall, right?
We are not wedging, but this is clearly a prop. This is a set.
Oh, the key. The key is. Can anyone see a keyhole?
I do not think the key. There's a hinge. I think if we push, the wall will move.
We need to do that. I think it's like he's observing us. This deity. It's a pervert. He's looking at us through those cracks.
We
and
did
if we
wake
get
up
through
in
the
bed
cracks,
together.
Ready? I think on 3 we should all push with all our strength or our magical hands. Let us push. Yes.
Okay,
I summon magic.
Yes.
I summon mage hand and help Adrenal to with a hinge.
So anybody who's joining in on pushing the wall, I will take the highest athletics of whoever is involved with and have a d20 roll with advantage.
I got a 19.
Oh,
I got a measly 2.
I got a measly 9. Is that
So 9. What did you get, Adam?
I got 17 plus 5, so 22.
Very nice. So you push against the wall with all your might. It's very similar to what you experienced in the bedroom. You can feel that this house is not what it seems. There is something there's something flimsy about it, and you feel like you could budge it, but there is something resisting you.
Can I hurl a firebolt through this crack?
You can give it a go.
Can you see through the crack?
Yeah, so wait, should we do firebolt first or
Firebolt first.
So
I'm
Ignis,
doing a firebolt.
as you hurl you don't need to roll, as you hurl your firebolt towards the crack, the same thing happens as before. That gust of very, very strong wind comes through. It extinguishes your firebolt, which you've never known to happen before. Just sort of snuffs it out in midair. Everybody make me a dexterity or strength saving throw, please.
10.
8.
11.
9.
So, sorry, what did, so everybody who rolled a 10 or higher, who was that? Adrenal and Stubbs. Again, you're able, with your strength and your sort of dexterousness, you're able to hold on to something or brace yourselves and avoid being knocked over. Ignis and Ferocity, again, you are knocked prone by this gust of wind, and this time you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, 6 points.
It's
my
stronger
God.
and it almost feels more pointed this time.
Bloody
Can
hell.
I?
Are you guys
can I cast-
very injured?
I'm very injured. I had 12 hit points at the beginning, right?
Yeah, so you're now down by 7.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Stubbs.
time to cure some wounds. So I'm going to cast cure wounds.
Sister,
I go
help
over-
me.
I go over
Help.
to Ignis and touch his head and roll a
Yeah, that's an 8, a
D8.
D8 plus 5.
Oh my goodness!
That's
family reunion moment. The
That's
Marion-
okay.
Ignis grabs Ferosti's hand and says, "Ferosti, I never wanted to leave. I never wanted you to leave. I never wanted you to leave."
And I didn't want to leave either, but I killed too many people, and then I got visited by Elibert and sent on a quest to like save as many lives and save a life for everyone I killed. So
You can save my life. You can stay with me. You can save my life.
That's gonna help. So I've just rolled a 5 on my D8, and I get +5.
Yeah.
So you regain 10 hit points.
Your wounds sort of knit back together. Your bruises heal. You feel much better.
And Ferocity, you're looking quite injured, aren't you?
How many hit points am I down?
At least 7.
Yeah.
Okay. I will lay hands on you, and I'll be like, basically, you're recovering those 7 hit points, and I'm like, do not worry, we will keep you safe here.
Stubbs, meanwhile, is staring at Adrenal with the giant "what did you think would happen" look on his face.
I would like to ignore Stubbs pointedly. Please take a moment. This is pointed. And then I would like to try and peer through the crack.
Yeah, make a perception check.
9 + 3, 12.
It's quite hard to see what's through the crack because it's very narrow. What you get is an impression of space. There's a large amount of space beyond this house. But you're not certain what's in it. It's dark. You can't really make anything out with certainty.
Stubbs leans closer to Adrenal. Looks dark in there. Maybe you should have Ignis cast a firebolt so you can see. Sounds like a great idea.
The firebolt that just got us attacked. No, I do not think that is wise.
Yes.
What? You mean doing something that didn't work before again is a bad idea?
Says the man who hurls books at the China dolls. We will then attack us.
No,
Thank you so much for that.
It hasn't attacked us yet.
Trying to wedge open the thing did not cause this. Igneous throwing the firebolt is what caused us to be attacked. I think your logic is off there.
Okay, guys, calm down.
Does
okay?
not matter. We go to the stairs now.
Okay, but
Stubbs
we have
is
to be
grumpily smashing his
listen.
feet as he walks towards the stairs.
But listen, Stubbs, we need to be really aware of the fact that we're playing right into this pervert deity, whatever hand, right?
Maybe
But
the
let's
only
do it.
choice. Maybe the only choice is to play into his hands until we know what the game is.
The game is make Stubbs miserable. We go down the stairs.
I'm right
So
with
far,
you.
they're winning.
So,
I follow
Going-
Stubbs making a visible effort to protect Ferocity and kind of stand between her and Stubbs.
So Ignis, Stubbs, Ferocity, you're going down the stairs. Adrenal, are you following? Or are you...
Following behind at a defensive distance to help them.
So the stairs, they're quite narrow and dim. They let out on what seems to be the ground floor of the house, in a sort of, quite a cavernous hallway. As you get to the bottom of the stairs, so you walk out into this hallway, you can see the rest of the spiral staircase a few feet away from you. The ground beneath your feet crunches. And looking down, you can see what at first glance appear to be body parts, but you soon realize are actually doll parts. So fragments of shattered porcelain hands, legs, faces, are just everywhere under your feet. At the far end of the hallway, you can see a familiar figure sitting in a wicker chair, completely motionless. And just to the right of her, you can make out the dim outline of a large wooden door with a thin line of light beneath it.
Ferocity says, "All right, stand back, Stubbs. This time we don't throw anything at the China doll."
Yeah, Stubbs, keep away from the doll. Keep away from the doll. Don't do anything with it. Okay?
Stubbs is happy to get nowhere near that doll.
Okay. Ferocity wants to roll a history or insight check. Will that?
What are you trying to work out?
Anything that we might know about this demigod and what he wants and how he normally operates.
Yeah, maybe that'll be a religion check.
Okay.
So that's a d20 plus 3.
Okay, that's 19 plus 3 equals 22.
Yeah, you thinking about it, you're pretty sure you know quite a lot about Asterinian. But there isn't very much to know because she's quite a little-known deity. So you know that she's generally considered not to be good or evil. She's sort of a neutral deity. So you don't think that the purpose of this game is to harm you, even if that might be the effect. What you mostly know about Asterinian is that she's not a human god or a god of any of the the smaller races. She's a god mostly worshipped by dragons. And dragons are what she knows, and when she interferes in the affairs of tieflings and humans and people like you, she doesn't really she won't necessarily kind of know very much about the things that scare you or hurt you, but she is an inveterate trickster. She loves playing jokes.
So the point of the game is for her to be entertained.
Yeah, Stubbs, you can do that, right? You can do that what they call singing again. Maybe that's what would entertain the god or goddess or whatever.
People don't like my singing that much.
I do supply chain check though to find. Sorry, Stubbs. I interrupted you.
No.
I do supply chain check to see if I ever saw anything like the doll which is sitting there at the far side of the room, or like the porcelain pieces on the floor, if I can identify where they came from, or I've seen anything like that in my dealings with the people before.
You don't need to roll. So you've seen China dolls before. They're usually sort of a lot smaller than this one. You've never seen a human-sized China doll that behaved like this. This is outside of really anything you've encountered.
Ferocity goes up to the China doll and says, "Are you Asterinian?
Asterinian.
Are you Asterinian? Or are you a vessel of Asterinians?"
So you're walking towards. So the hallway's quite long. So as you're walking towards. Oh, sorry.
I grab at her wrist to try and stop her from walking down the hallway.
I just tow him along.
So Ferocity and Stubbs, you're striding down the hallway to ask the China doll if she's Asterinian.
I follow them because no way I'm letting Ferocity go alone. And Stubbs, don't touch her.
Alone?
Okay? Keep your hands to yourself. Okay? Keep your hands to yourself. Okay? Can you? Thank you so much.
So Ignis, you're following. Adrenal, what are you doing?
I'm sticking close to Ignis to try and protect him should anything happen.
I'm liking our combination of two very protective.
And yet, we haven't protected them at all yet. Because,
I can't protect them from wind.
I know! I'm the same. I'm like, I guess that's going to happen to you then. Maybe, can we protect them from wind? Could we have used our reaction to protect them from the wind? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Would have been tricky.
Okay.
So as you get closer to the doll, her head swivels towards you. When you're close enough to talk to her, and indeed, Ferocity, as you begin to speak, she rises to her feet and lets out that same piercing yell. I would like everyone to roll initiative.
Exactly the same as last time. I am doing well at initiative.
So that's a 7, Adrenal, for you.
9 for me.
9 for Ferocity.
I have rolled 9, but I have a modifier, right? Initiative modifier, whatever. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Where is it?
So that
Initiative
is
plus 3.
plus 3.
So I've rolled 12 in effect, right?
So 12 for you, Ignis. Stubbs?
11.
11 for Stubbs. That means the doll actually goes first. So who's closest? Ferocity, are you ahead, or Stubbs, are you standing in front of her?
How wide is the hallway?
I'm ahead.
Are we able to be side by side?
You can be side by side.
We're
Oh, yeah,
side by
that
side.
Okay. So the doll, as I said, she surges to her feet. Her jaw does that same creepy thing where it sort of unhinges. She lets out that piercing scream. This time the scream seems directed. It hits you with its full force, Stubbs. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
10.
That is a fail, unfortunately.
Awesome.
You take 10 psychic damage.
Okay.
As the scream sort of invades your mind. And you're also stunned. And you can remake that save at the end of each of your next turns to break out of that effect.
Okay.
But at the moment, it's almost as though the scream has sort of locked down your senses. You can't move for the life of you. The doll then grabs you by the shoulders, Ferocity, doing, or she tries to anyway, does a, oh wow, that was a crit. So yes, she hits. So she does 11 bludgeoning damage to you. She sort of grasps your shoulders. So mark that on your hit point sheet. On your hit points, take 11 off.
I'm going to take a guess now and say, Ferocity, you're looking a little bit rough at the moment.
I am. Sorry. Where's my hit point sheet?
So your hit points will be on the front page of your character sheet. In the middle, there'll be a thing that says maximum hit points. You started on 13. You're probably at maximum. You were at maximum probably before this hit. So now you're on 2.
Okay.
Ignis drops to his knees and emits a Darth Vader scream, "No!"
Ferocity, also, you can feel when the doll touches you, you feel this sort of horrible, cold, creeping feeling spreading through your body.
Can I take a moment to say to Stubbs, looks like going down the stairs was also a very good plan, Stubbs.
Yes, being sarcastic.
Paralyzed and cannot respond.
It's Ignis's turn.
Well, the doll is still alive, right? The doll is still there, and
Yeah.
it's still
Yeah.
well. I have
And
to.
it's still holding Ferocity.
So I attack it.
Apart.
I attack it, but I don't attack it with a fireball, because fireball probably won't want to just ignites things. I attack it with a dagger.
Go for it.
So let me roll a d20. 13.
That is a hit.
I have +5, by the way, to the dagger.
Yeah, that hits. So you go ahead and roll me damage, which will be
D10.
because you're attacking with. So if you attack with your firebolt, it's a D10. If you attack with your dagger, it's a D4 plus 3.
A d4 plus 3. 3 plus 3, so 6.
Very nice. So yeah, you run at the doll and you just stab at her. And actually, you cause a sort of a crack appears. Where are you stabbing her?
Like in the eye.
Yeah, a crack appears in her eye. And her scream gets louder. As far as you can tell, you think that you have injured her. And it's Stubbs' turn. Do you want to make that saving
I want to
throw?
try a save out of it. Does a 15 succeed?
It does. You
Do I
shake off
have do I have the rest of my actions?
You do not.
Okay,
But
I'm going to action surge then. I'm going to action surge so I can still strike. I am also going to use my bonus action to second wind.
go for it.
So first I'm going to second wind in case something horribly goes wrong. That will get me 11 hit points back.
Mhm.
So put me back to 21. And now I'm going to use my action surge to swing at it with my sword or my hammer anyway, because of course. Stubbs is full-blown adrenaline panicking, and he yells, hammer, and swings. Does a 12 hit?
It does, yes, just about.
Oh, I did not expect that. He does 6 points of damage with his hammer.
Very nice. So again, you see cracks appear across the surface of the doll as your hammer makes contact with her sort of porcelain skin.
How injured is the doll looking?
At the moment, it's looking as though it's been lightly wounded. So it's cracked, but it's by no means bloodied. And it's now Ferocity's turn.
Are you still
Okay.
a pacifist, Ferocity?
What's that?
Are you still a pacifist?
I just can't help. Well, yes, but I'm still like, I'm thinking, like, hitting this thing isn't. Everybody else is hitting this thing. I'm more interested in what its deal is. Like, what is it here to do? Is it here to just? Yeah, I just want to investigate it somehow.
I want to investigate it too, but I've just hit it because it hit you.
Oh,
I don't want you to die.
well, at this point, I'm like the closest thing to the doll, so I don't know. Can I roll for investigation or something?
Yeah, you can investigate the doll. So that's for you an investigation check. That's a D20 plus 1.
I think insight would be the one that makes most sense. Investigation actually takes time, I believe.
Yeah, if you want to, that's a D20 plus 4.
Yeah, well, I've got
I think,
better
is what she's
insight.
going for. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's only 10 for insight.
Is that with your plus 4?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's very hard to gain an insight into what's motivating this doll, because it's so sort of non-humanoid. It doesn't seem to be animated by an intelligence that you can connect to. Its motivations are obscure to you. You also notice, Ferocity, that where the doll's still got her sort of china hands on your shoulders. That spreading chill is going down one of your arms, and you notice that the fingers of one of your hands are becoming harder to move, and they're taking on a sort of hard white sheen.
So, Suzannah, because I don't think you know this, you can try and escape. I think you're being grappled right now. You can try and make a strength check to try and break out of the hold that this monster has got you in.
Okay. Do I have to wait for our next turn for that, though?
No, you can do that now.
Okay, well, I'll do that because I'm severely freaked out by the fact that my hand is turning all glassy. I don't want to turn into a china doll.
You mean like the pieces we're stepping on the whole way to get here?
So go ahead and make a strength.
I've rolled an 11 and I get -1 on strength, so I've only got a 10.
Yeah, so you try to struggle, but you hold on. Yeah, you can't quite break free. The doll tightens her grip. We are on to Adrenal.
How far away am I?
You can reach the doll if you wish to.
No, protective instincts have come into play, and I run over and I try and grab Ferocity and yank her out of the doll's grasp.
Yeah. Okay. So are you? I suppose we could do that as a contested strength check. Do you want to go ahead and roll?
Yeah. Just straight strength, not athletics or anything.
Go on then. You can make it athletics.
Okay. Because I rolled bad. 6 + 5, 11.
Unfortunately, the doll rolled a 20.
Oh,
you try and yeah, she's rolling well. You try to pull Ferocity away, but the doll's just incredibly strong, stronger than you would imagine for something that looks like it's made of fragile china.
Okay, sorry, Frosty. Good luck.
There's like a Terminator exoskeleton inside. We're about to smash open and find.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything else on your turn? I don't know.
I don't think I can.
Okay.
I don't want to evoke an opportunity attack from this thing. No, thank you.
So, it's back to the doll's turn. The doll, seeing you try and pull Ferocity free, her head sort of swivels around, her eyes focus on you, and she lets out that eerie scream again. So make me a Constitution saving throw.
Please do a nice throw, Ferocity.
11.
That's not quite high enough, unfortunately. You take, just like Stubbs, you take 10 psychic damage, and you are stunned. The scream sort of roots you to the floor. You feel your mind being overwhelmed by this sense of kind of cosmic horror. It is your turn, Ignis.
So just to make sure, so my dagger is still in the doll, right? Or is my dagger in my hand again?
Back in your hand. I assumed that you were just attacking with the dagger as a held weapon rather than throwing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the dagger's in your hand.
Is the crack wide enough for me to hurl a firebolt through it inside the doll?
You could certainly try.
Because I'm Ignis, I do that. Or can I hurl 3 magic missiles like right through the crack?
Yeah, you can do either of those.
I throw 3 magic missiles right through the crack inside the doll.
Okay, I believe you don't have to roll for the magic missiles. To hit, they all hit. So you need to just roll damage, which is 3 d4s plus 3.
Okay, plus 3 to everyone or to the result?
To the total.
To the total. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 1. So it's 6. Sorry, it's 7.
No.
7.
7.
I'm sorry.
The magic missiles all find their mark. They kind of shoot in directly to the crack. You see the crack widen, and actually, like a little bit of the porcelain of the like around the doll's eye kind of chips away, revealing a sort of like almost like a black hole beneath. You can't see anything inside. It's like the doll is hollow. The doll sort of seems enraged by this, but you've definitely sort of struck quite a blow. Stubbs. You've now you've shaken off completely the effects of the scream, and you now feel fortified against it. You don't think it'll affect you again.
Stubbs glances back to Agenel. Yes, this was a bad idea. And then swings at, technically just makes an attack, but the idea is trying to chop off one of the arms that is holding on to Ferocity.
Go for it.
And rolls a 18 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And a 5 points of damage.
Very nice. Hold on. Yeah. So you not only hit, you feel a tremendous crack as your blow hits, and a little bit of the doll's arm actually shatters. So future attempts on Ferocity's part to free herself are going to be made with advantage, because the doll's one of her arms is now weakened, visibly sort of cracked and broken. Anything else on your go, Stubbs?
Yep.
Okay, we go to Ferocity.
Okay, so I've got a spell called Bless that I can bless the other 3 to have to add an extra number to their attack rolls or saving throws, and I probably should have done that a while back. If I do that, do I still have the time to roll a strength check to see if I can get out of? No, that just takes up. Okay, well, I don't know.
You can selflessly help the others, or you can try and free yourself.
No, don't do that. Don't do that, Frosty. Free yourself.
Free yourself. Free yourself. At this point, you've got 2 hit points. You're not going to survive if you don't.
Free yourself. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
if you keep me alive with a saving throw, I can get you out. I'm just pointing that out.
Don't forget about Stubbs. Don't think about Stubbs. Forget about him. Forget about him. Save yourself.
I'm gonna do what I think my character would do. So Ferocity is gonna be an idiot and do the blessing.
No.
Okay, you can
why?
bless all of the creatures. You can bless up to 3 creatures, so that means you can bless Adrenal and Ignis and Stubbs, which means they can all, when they make the next attack roll or saving throw, they can all add an extra D4 to that roll.
Okay, but I think she leaves Ignis out and she just blesses Adrenal, Stubbs, and herself.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can do that. Ferocity blesses herself and Adrenal and Stubbs. Okay, so you sort of golden light settles over the 3 people you have chosen to bless. Nothing for Ignis.
Wait, is bless concentration?
Let me check.
Have we just been plunged into darkness?
Just checking on Ferocity's spell sheet.
But also, Ferocity should have been making concentration saving throws anyway. For if light was concentration.
I don't think light is.
Bless is concentration.
Okay, bless is. I don't think light is, as far as I can see from here.
Light just may be you can only have one going, period.
Yeah, I think light is just you can only have one at a time. So yes, you bless everybody except Ignis. Ferocity.
Sorry, brother. I mean, I listened to your argument. You said to save myself, so I did.
And you chose him over me. Stubbs, do you like him? Is that it? Do you like him?
Nonsense.
That's clearly not possible.
I just don't like you. No, I'm kidding.
Adrenal, it's your turn.
Okay, so I am paralyzed. Is that what's happened? I can't.
Yeah. So you're stunned. You can't move, but you can make another Constitution saving throw to try and shake off that effect.
With an extra 1d4.
With an
yes.
extra D4 that you can add to it.
Probably not needed. It was an 18 for the roll.
Yep, that's a success.
Okay, so I've shaken that off, but then I can't do anything else.
Yeah, that's the end of you.
Can I move now?
It technically happens like you get to make the throw at the end of your turn.
Okay, so yeah, then I will just stand there like a lemon.
But you do now feel, like Stubbs, you feel now fortified against the effects of the psychic scream. You don't think that it would affect you again.
Good, because I wouldn't survive it.
We're back at the top of the round. So it's the doll's go. Now that her hand is and her arm is partially damaged, the doll seems to be, if anything, just further enraged. Her head swivels now to back to Stubbs, who dealt her such a grievous blow, and again she tries to scream, but this time it has no effect on you at all, Stubbs. You just sort of feel it wash over you. But she's also going to attack Ferocity again. She rolls a 13.
I used my reaction to give her disadvantage.
Sorry?
I used my reaction for the fighting style protection to give the doll disadvantage because she's attacking someone within 5 feet of me.
Okay, it's still a 13, which I think misses because Ferocity, your armor class is 18, right? Yep. So she tries to hit you again, but she doesn't do any damage to you. Your armor sort of deflects the blow.
Oh, you are nowhere near as squishy as I thought you were. That's cool.
Ignis, it's your go.
I don't have any spells left. I have only the cantrips, right?
I believe so. I haven't actually been keeping track of your spell slots. You had 3.
I have 3, and I cast 3 magic missiles to get to the doll, right? So I can't do anything.
No, magic
you-
missile is 1 spell slot costs 3. You've got 2 left.
Okay, I cast magic missile wherever there are cracks or openings wide enough. I cast the magic missile through the crack.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me another 3d4 plus 3.
3d4 plus 3. 4, 2, 3. So it's 9. Plus 3, it's 12.
Oh, very nice. The doll now looks severely injured. The magic missiles explode at various points on her frame. You see sort of, as bits of her porcelain fall away and crash to the ground, you see kind of gaping holes appearing in her face, in her arms, sort of, all over her body. It is Stubbs.
I mean, if it's still kicking, I'm going to try to smash whatever arm is still grabbing Ferocity. I guess I do technically add a D4. I'm guessing a 9 does not hit.
It does not, unfortunately.
And other than that, I'm going to try to shove into it with my shield, and he's like banging the shield with a hammer, yelling, "Shield, here!" and trying to get the thing's attention as best he can.
Ferocity, it's your go.
At this stage, I think I'm going to make another strength throw, and I add a D4 to that, don't I?
And advantage as well, because Stubbs has damaged the doll's arm where she was holding you.
So I rolled a 5 on my D20 for
So
strength.
you can roll that again and take the higher result.
Okay. Still 5, I'm afraid.
And that's plus your strength, which is
-1.
yep.
So that's 4.
And then you add a D4.
And I add a D4 to that. That's another 1. So that's 5. Wow, I'm really doing badly.
Now you sort of twist around a little bit in the doll's grip, but you can't quite free yourself. It is Adrenal.
Okay. So it's still there. It's still standing. Right. I smashy time. Let's do with my war hammer. 11 plus 5, 16.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. Let's get smashing up. 1d8. 8 plus 3, 11.
Oh, very nice. You deal a decisive blow.
I feel like it's pent up anger from being paralyzed. Ha
All that rage. You drive your weapon right into the doll's chest, and she just shatters. The cumulative effect of all of your efforts, just you see more and more cracks opening in her face, in her body, and then like all the porcelain just drops away, and she collapses on the floor. A pile of porcelain and a faded pink dress on top.
As I smash down the hammer, can I yell out, "I'm not playing"?
Yes, absolutely. Wow, fantastic.
Now the fight's over. I have to ask, over your left shoulder on the table, did you put the doll there on purpose, or is that just a happy coincidence?
Yeah, no, I put it there on purpose. I'm so glad somebody noticed.
Just checking. That's all.
Yeah. It would have been great if I could have somehow, had it like moving about during during this thing, just for extra creepy factor. So silence falls once again over the creepy house. There's a stillness in the air. The doll doesn't move or reassemble itself. It lies there completely inanimate.
It's getting smashed to pieces. Stubbs is smashing it to pieces, looking to see if he is looking for a key inside the doll's body.
I I'm suggesting that we all take a break. We are all very injured, I think. It might be wise if we rest.
Stubbs keeps smashing. This very relaxing.
Yes, you can take a short rest while Stubbs pounds the doll into sand.
So, Suzannah, you'll be able to roll some hit die to recover some hit points of it.
Okay, so do I just
yes.
roll?
So you can roll, I believe, a D8 to recover some hit points. Ferocity.
I got 5.
Yeah, great. So you can add 5 onto your current hit point total.
Brings me back up to 7.
Nice. Anyone else want to do anything during their short rest? I think, Ignis, you can recover a spell slot if you want, so you can go back up from 1 to 2.
Yes, I'm using my arcane recovery ability to recover 1 spell slot, and I also say to Ferocity, listen, was it me? Was I the real reason why you left the family?
No, of course not.
Is Frosty still wounded? Or are you full on hit points?
On 7, I think you said.
Yeah,
Out
I
of
can
13.
give you another 2 if you need it.
Oh, that'd be
Stubbs
good.
comes over. I shall also use my paladin laying hands upon you, and puts his hands on your shoulders for a brief moment. You're healed 0.
Yeah, nothing happens.
It just Stubbs pauses. You are welcome, and then wanders off back to smash.
Perfect silence for a moment. Okay, so that's me back up to 9, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've also got Ferocity. I believe you've got a preserve life ability as a cleric, where you can you've got like a sort of pool of 10 hit points that you can divide between wounded creatures as you see fit. So you can add up to 10 hit points to anybody, or split those hit points between people to heal them back up.
So you could give yourself however many you're missing. Ignis, are you fully healed? I'm down 1, but I can deal with that.
So Stubbs, as you're continuing to hit the sort of the doll, which is looking. Yeah, you do find a key there. you almost beat the key into just a flat metal disc because you're going so hard. But yes, you find a little key.
Stubbs is beyond proud. He grabs the key and holds it above his head. The spider had a key. The doll has a key.
The spider got us here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that part.
The spider key got us
key.
to the doll. The doll key. What will the doll key get us to?
Yeah, probably a dragon or something. Oh my gosh.
The key's to the door, not the doll, and the spider key was to the. It's okay.
Wait,
Stubbs understands.
Is there anything else anyone wants to do during their short rest?
I'm not sure what.
Keyhole.
Can I look around? Is there a crack down here as well?
Yes.
Please, no.
No, Adrian.
No.
Adrian, no, stay away from the crack.
Roll me. I don't know. You can roll me an investigation check. What did you say you were doing, Ferocity?
I wasn't sure what there is for me to do.
You can divide those 10 hit points between anyone, so you can.
Oh yeah. Does anybody else need more hit points? Yara or Ignis?
I don't think so. I think I was healed the last time. So I lost like 9 hit points, and then I got 10 got restored, and I don't think the doll really hurt me, right?
So just 1 to myself and 1 to Stubbs would be great, and then
sure, and then 4 to me.
Yeah.
So we're all back up, and I've used 6.
What did you roll on your perception check, Adrenal? Sorry, investigation.
Terribly. 3. tired. Yeah.
You do see the crack because you know where to look now. So sort of in exactly the same place you would expect. So at the side of the house where you found the crack with the hinge, there's another hinge. You know that the other crack, the crack that was on the side of the house where you started in the bedroom, that's going to be beyond the door that you can see, sort of beyond the remains of the doll. There's this locked door to which Stubbs has just found the key.
Are we in a dollhouse?
Are you asking that out loud?
Yes, in character, I am asking.
Stubbs points to the smash. Oh, we're in a house. There was a doll.
Dollhouses, they open up in like that way, don't they? And we have seen.
And the spider was
That's the
enormous.
We have seen toy furniture that is.
Wait. What if the spider's not enormous? What if we are very,
Exactly.
very tiny?
Exactly what I was about to say.
So
I don't
really,
wanna be- I don't
we
want
are
to be
home
tiny.
invaders. We have come into this doll's house and have killed them.
Don't make me
dear.
feel bad for a doll.
Too late.
The
I
doll
already
was
feel bad
scary.
for the doll.
The doll dropped its jaw open and screamed at me, and it hurt.
So it was a scary doll. It was probably trying to keep
Ferocity
us up.
screamed loud and it didn't hurt. The doll screamed loud and it hurt.
I don't like saying this, but I agree with Stubbs on this one. I'm with Stubbs on this one.
On what stuff? I don't even
About
remember
us
what I
being-
said.
about us being small. I think it's just right. I wonder, is there a way to make yourselves big again? Or I do not know.
Is there like a box of cakes lying around that says "Eat
Says,
me"?
"Eat me."
Can't see any eat me cakes.
I look through the keyhole into the next room.
Yeah, roll me a perception check.
Shockingly, I actually rolled decent. 14.
Yeah, you can. So the room beyond the keyhole is actually surprisingly brightly lit compared to the rest of the house. So you can see quite a bit. It seems to be a gallery. There are strange pictures on the walls, but it's hard to make out the images because they sort of hurt to look at. The only constant is there seems to be a laughing dragon's head in every single one somewhere. But one thing that you can see very clearly is a latch, sort of in the middle of the gallery, same place that the crack was before.
It's a
There's a little
dollhouse.
copper latch.
What do you see, Stubbs?
I explain what I saw.
Well, we were having trouble opening the dollhouse before. Maybe we open the latch and we will find it easier and emerge back into the world as very small people.
That doesn't seem very satisfying somehow.
It's better to remain small people here.
With the spiders.
Yes, but there's no food in here or drink or anything. We need to get out. Maybe
We can eat the spider.
we
technically.
grow outside the house.
What if that doll that we killed was someone else who was kidnapped here and turned into a doll, and then we could have helped them escape?
How you said the floor is just covered with broken doll pieces, right?
That was the
If
previous.
that was the case,
the previous adventures, weren't
many
they, huh?
people died. I really want out of here. It's like holding the key.
Where can we
So-
find? Is there a possibility for us to find and confront the demigod?
So ferocity, you know from your sort of your knowledge of religion that it is potentially, theoretically it's possible for mortals to confront gods, but it's not something that many mortals are ever able to do until they've
We
died
get our
in
asses
battle.
kicked.
Until they got to a high enough level.
Okay, fair enough. So our options seem to be either to outwit or to play along with what's happening. Well, the latch sounds promising. If we can get in there and use the key on the latch, perhaps it'll open and we can get out, and that will work. I don't know.
So, do we see anything through there that might attack us while we are on our way to the latch?
Are we actually entering? Because I was looking at the keyhole. We haven't opened the door yet.
No,
Are we
gotta open the door, Stubbs.
I'm
Are
asking
we
you.
opening the door? Okay. I opened the door. Let's go.
Yeah, so you open the door using the little key. The room is empty apart from the weird images and a couple of standing on either side of the latch. There are a couple of wooden soldiers, nutcracker soldiers.
Oh shit! Ignis begins to feverishly pace the floor.
I think surprise them, everybody. Get your weapons out, yes. And I get my javelin, and I'm ready to throw it.
You have a javelin?
I have 5 javelins. I am ready to.
Can I use burning hands? Can I get a line of fire so I can burn both wooden soldiers at the same time?
Yeah, you absolutely can. They're quite sort of standing close on either side of the latch.
Can I give Stubbs a javelin? Stubbs, would you like a javelin? I have 5.
Hold on. Just stop. There was a button in the dragon's eye 2 rooms ago, yes?
Yes.
I stare at who was the one? Were you the one that found it? Who Adrenal found it?
Ferocity.
Yeah. Okay. There are dragons in the paintings that hurt my head.
Yes, and there are wooden soldiers that will probably come to life and attack us.
Before we go after the wood soldiers, can we check the dragons? Maybe there's a button.
You want to go into the room with the wooden soldiers to check the paintings in the room with the wooden soldiers. We are in the doorway.
I can use my mage hand. By the way, what is the distance to the latch? Is it 30 feet or is it?
You could, standing at the door, you could send your mage hand, and you can see. You can all see that the latch isn't a lock. It's just one of those sort of latches that you sort of just lift. So the mage hand could open it. It isn't a lock. It would just need to sort of push it up.
So we have a choice. We can push the ledge up. I can try slapping the pictures with a mage hand. Stubbs, don't go in there, because if you go in there, you're all alone. You're on your own. We're not going inside.
See if the latch opens. See if it's
okay.
Easy to get out. See what happens when you open
I cast my mage hand from the doorway, and I send the hand to the ledge, and I open it.
Yeah, so as the mage hand drifts into the room, the soldiers start to animate. Their sort of nutcracker jaws start to chatter up and down, making this horrible sort of clacking sound. They start to run towards you. But the moment the mage hand makes contact with the latch and lifts it up, they drop lifeless to the floor. And the walls of the house swing open.
God.
You can see beyond a great expanse of space. It's actually an enormous room. You can see a gigantic fireplace, an absolutely enormous bed, and you seem to be, your little house is in the middle of that room. As you step outside, you gradually feel yourself returning to your normal size, and you realize that you're still in the Wobbling Goblin.
We're still in this gut-wrenched tavern. My gosh. Okay.
And as you step out, a laugh echoes through the room, sort of in your minds. And you hear a voice in your head saying, "You've done well, mortals. I am impressed." Though actually the voice sounds a little pissed off to you, almost as though it's slightly grumpy to have been outsmarted. But there's an echo of slightly scornful laughter, and then the voice fades. And as you watch, so does the dollhouse. Just shimmers out of existence. Congratulations, adventurers.
We're not dead.
Yay.
You survived and you've outsmarted Asterinian.
What was in the paintings?
Oh, the paintings were just scary, sort of mind-bending, sort of psychic damage.
I love the idea that you ended up staring at one and then just never left the dollhouse. You're
I was preparing for some sort of save when I looked at it.
Stubbs, come out. We've all returned to our original sizes. Painting.
The solution's in the painting. I know it.
Yeah.
Well, I think we are almost at the 2-hour mark, but I think there's just time for anybody who wants to plug any books or promote anything that they've got coming up before we finish. Would anybody like to go first?
Why don't you go, Rachel?
Oh, okay. I have, I know, algorithms there here. This is Last Prayers of Carey Nights. I was going to talk about another book there. That one came out earlier this year. It's a fantasy story about, based in the world of fungi. I fucking love fungi. So yeah, if you're interested in rot and not just in the mushroom sense, also in the rotten government and civil overthrow of powers, then that could be an intriguing book for you.
Perfect. Just perfect. It's beautiful too.
Thank you. I do all my own covers, so that's nice to hear. Go on, Suzannah, take you back. Go on.
Well, I write, as I said, historical fantasy, and also, so I have one series, Watchers of Outremer series, which is set during the 200-year history of the Crusader states. I put as much sort of historical accuracy as I can into that, and also like embroider into the margins of the history with a lot of magic and djinn and dragon angels and things like that. And then I also have a gas lamp series that I'm working on. I've put out a trilogy. It's just fun nonsense comedy romance in the 1890s, in a version of 1890s Europe that happened where all the royal families happen to be different sorts of monster. So that's been a huge amount of fun too, and that's Miss Sharp's Monsters. So
I could have sworn you said gin, not gin. I'm realizing they're not going in my head. I thought you said that it's got a world of the alcohol. I was like, I don't remember any alcohol in that.
Well, people do drink it, eh? I mean, there's not. What about you, Yara?
David, you go next.
Sure. I'm David Dalglish. I write a whole bunch of different epic fantasy. My next book that will be coming out is The Bladed Faith, so I do not have it, but that's coming out in April 5th. Other than that, that's me.
So I go last. Like we already figured out, my name is Yaroslav, and if there are any Russians watching this, I have a book coming out in February from Exmo, which contains the expanded version of Tower of Modern Straw, and which contains all of my short stories from the 7 years of writing. So that's one. And regarding the continuation of Tower, although the novel is still in the, let's say, manuscript adjustment phase, there'll be a Kirkus interview with me in February, where there'll be light spoilers as to what will happen in the second part. So stay tuned for that. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and I should probably do one too. I'm Carey. I write sci-fi and fantasy. My debut solo novel, Inscape, came out last year, and its sequel, Outcast, came out last week. So for any, if you like sort of cyberpunk thrillers with super spies and evil corporations, then you might like them.
Sounds amazing. Thank you for DMing, Louise. That was fantastic.
Thank you so much for playing.
Much.
And thank you to everybody who was watching.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. You were great.